Mountain News, first at 4, continues.
One school hit hard by flooding during 2022 and in 2021 is relocating within Breathitt County. Riverside Christian School has suffered damages from floodwater twice following back-to-back floods in 2021 and, of course, last July. School principal Meg Asher says thanks to a partnership with Breathitt County Schools, they are now the owner of Marie Roberts Caney Elementary School.
It's been a really cool process. The Lord has been in it in the craziest ways. Like, how on earth were they consolidating at the exact same time we needed a building and badly?
Asher says they are already in the process of moving into their new location and plan to start classes at the new building on August 16th. The start of the school year here in the mountains is not that far away. Law enforcement experts say parents should start having conversations with their kids about how important it is to stay alert walking to bus stops and waiting for the bus to arrive. Kentucky State Police advise parents and students should be thinking about possible dangers. Trooper Matt Gayhart spoke to us about those dangers.
But the random abductions that we majority see in the big cities and things doesn't happen as common as what you may think. However, we do encourage people to always be aware of their surroundings. Anything out of the ordinary, if you feel like maybe somebody's following you in a vehicle or just anything that feels out of the ordinary, people should take precaution with it. Know that it can happen, but the chances are lower than what we think.
Gayhart says if you feel something is not quite right, do something about it. Get to safety as quickly as possible.
Still watching the possibility for some stronger storms as we head through the nighttime hours. Some of us already getting in on that action out there now. Here's the outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. Most of us in a level 1 marginal risk for severe weather, but areas from Monticello to, let's say, London up to Jackson and let's say Louisa and points off to the northwest in that level 2 slight risk for severe weather. Just about everybody has a threat for a strong storm. It's just the threat is better up that way in the yellow area on the map, and everybody's got at least the marginal risk for heavy rain as we head through tonight. Any of the storms we see could produce quite a bit of heavy rain. Overall, it's a rather low threat. It's not uncommon to see a threat like this time of year. Hail risk is low. The tornado risk is very low. Gusty winds in excess of 50 to 60 miles per hour, the main threat, along with some localized high water issues. No issues out there right now for most of us. Upper 70s, low 80s in the Big Sandy, though Logan at 68 thanks to storms working through. Mid and upper 80s as we head down into the Cumberland Valley. Factor in the dew points, it feels like it's in the 90s. Most of us are dry right now, and the exception being up near Logan, where they're dealing with a heavy thunderstorm that'll be pushing out of the region over the next little bit. And then we focus on what's happening to our north and west. Severe storms near St. Louis, back up near Champaign, Illinois, and northwest of Indianapolis. Those are the storms we need to pay attention to that could bring us the potential for strong storms a little bit later on tonight. But we have plenty of time before those work in. So your forecast first through the evening, we'll see those storm chances increase a little bit later as those temperatures drop into the middle and upper 60s. Steve, I'll have the very latest on when we see some of those storms move in just a few minutes.
All right, Evan, thank you. Some time-lapse video to show you now of a wildfire in California. This fire was in Moreno Valley, California last week. At last check, it had burned 7,600 acres and was 35% contained. Several evacuation orders and warnings remain in place. Fire officials say the Rabbit Fire was the biggest of 4 wildfires in the county. This video shows the time-lapse of the blaze around Mount Davis, south of Beaumont. A freight train derailed in Pennsylvania this morning. The incident has prompted emergency managers to evacuate nearby residents. The 40-car CSX train was operating on tracks owned by Norfolk Southern and derailed shortly before 5 this morning in White Marsh Township.
Rail consists indicated that the train contained 2 empty tank cars, 5 cars containing urea, which is a liquid fertilizer, and 1 car containing tetrachloroethylene.
More than a dozen cars appeared to be off the tracks. No injuries have been reported, and residents have been allowed back into their homes. An American woman who was kidnapped in Mexico is now back home safe with her family. Monica De Leon Barba was kidnapped 8 months ago in Jalisco, Mexico, while walking her dog. Tara Campbell has the details.
Waking up tomorrow, I think we can all breathe a little bit easier.
Relief for the friends and family of Monica de Leon Barba. Surveillance video capturing the moment the San Mateo woman was abducted in Mexico and held captive for 8 months. Anissa Lifas leading the charge to bring her friend home, pressuring everyone from local officials to President Biden.
I'm not sure how much our efforts helped bring her back home. I'd like to think they helped a little bit, but we're just happy that she's back.
In March, the FBI announced a $40,000 reward for information about Monica's disappearance and released video of the kidnapping. You can see Monica walking her dog just blocks away from her home near Guadalajara. She is then confronted and forced into a vehicle. Saturday, the FBI announcing Monica was released by her captors Friday night. In a statement writing, the FBI is pleased to announce that Monica de Leon Barba is safe and en route to the United States, where she will be reunited with her family and dog after 8 months in captivity. No arrests have been made, and an investigation into the identities of her captors is ongoing. Monica's brother Gustavo posting this photo Saturday with his sister on a plane, writing, "I need to thank every single person that helped my family and I through this entire ordeal. We can all finally close this chapter in our lives and work on the long road of healing we have ahead." He told me the family isn't ready to speak publicly, but they did give Monica's friends the go-ahead to talk with us.
It's just been such a crazy 8 months. It's been really exhausting. And so it's crazy that we're here and Monica's safe.
Eager to see her, but understanding of the fact that she may need some space and time. Just very, very happy that she's back home.
Tara Campbell, ABC 7 News.
A mysterious object was discovered on an Australian beach today, and it's baffling locals and authorities. The giant cylinder washed up near Green Head in Western Australia, prompting speculation online, with some theorizing it was from the missing plane MH370 that disappeared in 2014.
It appears to be a possible fuel tank from a rocket that was being launched in the last 12 months that's dropped into the Indian Ocean, somewhere in the Indian Ocean, and washed up at Green Head.
Media in Australia are reporting that a joint investigation conducted by the Western Australia Police, the Australian Defence Force, and Maritime Partners is underway. In Mississippi, the members of 2 Gulfport churches are coming together to celebrate diversity in their community. Leslie Rojas has more.
That's the sound of 2 churches standing in unity.
Today we are coming together between 2 churches in unity, and we're just coming up under one roof, all nationality, the different religions, different race. We're just coming together just to give God praise.
St. Paul Missionary Baptist Church, a prominently African-American church, and Haven Bound Church, which is prominently white, are coming together to celebrate diversity.
Came up in a small church, and it was a non-denominational family type church, but throughout all the years of me being in church, there was never a mix of race.
Haven Bound Church Pastor John Shivers reached out to Reverend Paul Overby with a vision to unite.
I just believe that, especially this day and time, that we all need to come together and support each other and help each other, because there's only one Savior, and that's Jesus Christ.
The 2 churches are down the street from one another. St. Paul, who has served the community for over 100 years, is just now reopening its doors.
And due to the pandemic and due to other things, the church was closed for a little minute. But now that we are proceeding to open back up, we are proceeding to open up with the young people that grew up at this church, so they are the ones that are in charge of the service now.
Both church leaders say it's important to come together, regardless of our differences, to set an example
for the world. And if we can't set an example for the world, we can't set an example for nothing else.
I think it's very important that churches do not get caught up in a tradition of how we were brought up or how we were raised. There's nothing wrong with having good roots and a good foundation and great tradition, but you can't allow tradition to not let you be able to see God's love and His unity in His people. We're all God's children.
In Gulfport, Leslie Rojas, WLOX News Now.
A Florida neighborhood is experiencing what some in the area affectionately call a bunny boom. Between 60 and 100 lionhead rabbits are living in Wilton Manors, Florida, near Fort Lauderdale. One resident explains that a neighbor left her rabbits in the street when she moved a couple years ago, and since they were not spayed or neutered, they multiplied.
The first thing I do is get up and cover up the holes and chase them out of the backyard too. But you know, I'd like them, but I just wish they would live somewhere else.
Residents in that area are trying to raise thousands of dollars to rescue them and find them homes.